Howdy folks, this is Dallarian versus Majora on the Skylords Open number 11. I don't know whether this was in the winner's bracket or the loser's bracket, but here's what we have. Both players take the close well. Dallarian starting with a Frost Mage. I'm not sure that's the best pick in Shadow. I think Master Archer is better. Possibly, Dallarian has saved a tier 1 spot by skipping Master Archers. I think actually at a high level, it's better to skip Frost Mage than skip Master Archers. And Dallarian goes for a very aggressive second wall. Majora decided he doesn't want to deal with attacking Frost. He's going to take a wall in the center too, just to get a little bit of map control. Neither player wanting to play too aggressively or engage too much. Majora's coming in a little bit. That gives Dallarian an opening to play a Light Blade. Instead, he does a Frostbite, which, Majora can always just run away, and Dallarian has just spent 25 power on the Frostbite. Looks like Majora wants to go for an attack. See if he can beat the Frost Mage. Here we see a Light Blade with the taunt, and the Trade Charger is dying. However, keep in mind that he spent 25 power with the Frostbite and 25 power with the taunt, and he killed his Frost Mage, probably because he saw the tier 2 coming. So this is not an advantage for Dallarian, actually quite the opposite. About a 50 power advantage for Majora. 50 power plus the Light Blade, 75 power down in tempo. Light Blade is a very strong unit though. Let's not forget that. He taunts the Nightcrawler. Tier 2 is up from both players. Majora is going for a small split attack here. He does kill the Stormsinger, but he's going to die before anything comes out. Okay. Everything on the buffs. I don't think that's a great idea. I think that was just kind of wasted 100 power. And Dallarian is perfectly fine. His Light Blade is alive. Majora kind of wasted his attack. We've got a Skeleton Warriors, but that's not going to do anything. Dallarian has Frozen. Actually, it's perfectly acceptable if he just plays a Glacier Shell or a Kobold Trick. Either way, we'll just directly counter the 100 power Unholy Army for 50 power. 80 power counter is also fine. Majora coming in for an attack with the Nightcrawler down here. He could get a nice Corpse Explosion off. He's decided to go for another Skeleton Warriors with the Freeze, and the Freeze is going to kill the Nightcrawler too. Nice job from Dallarian running away a second before it runs out. Meanwhile, the Light Blade is coming in for an attack. Once you see this guy stance, he can just run back, and that way his Light Blade doesn't die. Dallarian has decided to take a wall up here, which puts him ahead by 1 wall. Skeleton Warriors die without doing anything. Majora follows with the well. Then the Orb is going to kill this Light Blade, which means that Dallarian kind of just threw away the Light Blade for nothing. Dallarian takes another well. Majora also takes a well, both players up to 6 wells. Something to be careful for Dallarian is that Pure Shadow has a very powerful scaling, especially, whether you play Pure Shadow even in tier 2 as a Harvester, but especially Pure Shadow's tier 3, typically is very powerful. And as Majora, I think as Dallarian, I think I would like to see him play a little bit more aggressively. If you saw the previous video, which was uploaded, I think that is a good playstyle for Dallarian to try and employ right now in this map. Although, of course, Pure Frost has to be careful because of Night Guard. But I think if Dallarian just sits here and doesn't do anything, that's not going to be very successful. We see Cliff of Frost, which missed, but with the Frostbite and with the Frenzy versus Glacier Shell, versus Glacier Shell, this is just not going to do anything. Stormsinger is killing him just because. Meanwhile, Stormsinger is healing up, and Majora has decided to take another well. So now we're at 8 wells versus 7 wells. Majora plays the Tree Spirit, not the Tree Spirit, Verdia with the Tree Spirits, which is a little. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, I know how I feel about it. I don't like it. Or I should say, I like the fact that he's trying to play new cards, but I just don't think this is a very valuable card in Pure Shadow. Of course, healing on Shadow Mages is nice, but relying on Shadow Mages is such a one-dimensional way to play this, very strong Pure Shadow deck, and so I don't feel like having Verdia to support them really does much. True Spirits are of course nice, especially when you got because they don't mind the Void Power. We see another Warp, and the Swamp comes off. That's going to be very huge for Majora, quite bad for Dallarian. The freeze doesn't catch this one Tree Fiend, but it did catch everything else, so I think we're going to see the swap back. And I think Dallarian will be fine. Unholy Power on the Tree Fiend. I don't think that's really going to make a difference, though. Oh, okay. To prevent the swap from going back, he's decided to go for Verdia. I think that's a good move. Verdia is also an expensive unit, and there's no way this is going to come down because of just how powerful Frost Protects are. He could do a little bit better job of focusing his own units. Night card dies. Yeah, with Kobold Trick, that's going to be totally fine. Majora takes 2 walls. That was that was not a good move. This late in the game, like he could have built his tier 3 already. Don't take 2 walls at once. Basically, ever don't take 2 walls at once. There's very few circumstances where you want to take 2 wells instead of just directly taking tier 3, especially when it's like right here. You could have just taken tier 3. And specifically in this section of the game, it's so late in the game. It's been 7 minutes. They've both got a lot of power. These 2 power walls are not going to make a difference, whereas having tier 3, 30 seconds earlier is going to make a difference. This swap is definitely going to get off. Both swaps get off. And I think, okay, yeah, but not sure where to kill this Night Guard here with the Ice Shield, yep, and Majora has taken 2 War Eagles. That's pretty good. Dallarian should be going tier 3, but he is not. It looks like he wants to try and fight this in tier 2. That's making Majora's decision to take tier 2 here much better, but I think just imagine where he would have been right now if he'd taken tier 3 instead of 2 else, right? These have paid half off by now, but instead of them paying half off, Majora's still 100 power down, right? So imagine this position, but with 100 power more plus tier 3. So we see a Nightcrawler going in for the wall down here. Finding the tier 3 from Majora, tier 3 from Dallarian is already out. Liking a Tremor here. I think Tremors have a lot of health. It's usually a better move to make the Silver Wind, run over to the opponent's base, and then spawn Tremors at the base. Looks like Dallarian doesn't have a good air counter for these tier 3 units, so he's still making Storm Singers. And the Tremor has finally slowly made its way down over there. The Area Shield I don't think really did anything. Tremor is of course very powerful, probably going to make something happen here. Majora is tier 3, he spent power on this tier 2 Skeleton Warrior spell, which has not been affected the whole time anyway. I think Dallarian should kill a Silverwind Lancer so it stops spending so much power, and Majora comes in with 2 Ashburn Pyros to go for an attack. Well, down here has died. Got an Eye Shield to keep this one going down. Freeze to stop the Cultist Masters. Majora could, for example, Nether Warp him down here to get away from the base. Instead, he's focusing on his own attack. Good split attack pressure, and we see that's going to make it a little bit harder to do building protects. So one Lancer here to absorb some of this damage, and Nightcrawler is there. But of course, with shield building, this is going to be safe, at least for now. If he frenzies one of these, it may not stay safe, but it's very powerful. Very protective spell, and Did Dallarian forget about this? Oh no, he has no power. It drops. Interesting. This is Majora's time to push a counterattack. Of course, Majora did lose his orb as well. We should see a Kobold Trick here. Kobold Trick, come on, Dallarian, Kobold Trick. No, no Kobold Trick. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Another word from Dallarian because he wants to prevent this from going up, but he's gonna go up anyway, so that another word didn't accomplish much. Dallarian still got his news on the field, and he can go back to tier 3. Meanwhile, Dallarian still has this War Eagle, which is unbound. But we have 5 wells versus Dallarian's like 8, so Dallarian does have a very large power advantage. Frost to take care of the Nightcrawlers. I like it. Brannock. I'm curious what Dallarian has in his deck to deal with Brannock. Brannock is a hard card to handle. Dallarian is playing Frost, by the way. He's going for Sylvan Lancers. Sylvan Lancers, of course, very good against Ashland Pyro. Double Cultist Master. If Dallarian doesn't, if he doesn't react in time, this can be a tremendous attack. Are we going to see an Evocator as well? So far we don't see it, but this is going to lose damage really fast. Dallarian comes out with the freeze, but he really needs to be doing some Ice Shield stuff. There we go, just barely in time, but it still might drop because somebody has Life Weaving. So he should be Kobold Tricking this just to get a little bit. There we go, good Kobold Trick, and this is going to survive for now. Of course, Brannock is going to get tremendous value, but of course Dallarian is also having more power every second because of just having more wells. Brannock comes here. So it looks like, unless Dallarian has new cards he hasn't played so far, the best counter in his deck is Tremors to deal with the Brannock. And of course, Timeless One. He's got some tier 2 Irish Knights. Again, I think Tremor is a little more valuable than Irish Knights. Tremors just have really good stats. We got a Culture Explosion from Majora, that's not going to do anything. Especially because Dallarian noticed and Kobold Trick in time. We get a Glacier Shell, or no, we don't. This drops. And this attacks here. We should see a Glacier Shell. Nope. Dallarian is just a little bit slow with these repairs. Okay, Veridia trying to save the Brannock. And Dallarian quits. Wow. Okay, that's not how I was expecting this game to go 2 minutes ago. Yeah, clutch pullout from Majora to kick those 2 orbs. And Dallarian, I don't know what to say. You gotta be faster on the Kobold Trick, Glacier Shell, shield building. I think your first instinct is usually to freeze, and freeze has some, Cold Snap has some time before it takes effect. And with these high DPS Shadow units, you should be repairing first, right? Play your shield building, play your Glacier Shell, and then freeze after. When you've got a better handle on the situation, because just a lot of times you have the power and you got 3 building protects plus the freeze, and things were just dropping because you didn't react in time or didn't freeze in time.